Whoa, hello everyone. How's everyone doing? Well, first of all, I need to know if you can hear me because I'm using a different microphone tonight, and it's because I'm going to be moving from one place to another, and my other microphones are very directional. So, let me know if you can hear me okay. Meanwhile, I'll start saying hello to some people like Steve Wigwag. How's it going, my friend? Glad you can make it in tonight. Steve87, PSAP, nice to see you. John Tanzillo, Dwight Curley, Ron Moen, glad to see you in here, buddy. Nice to see you all the time, buddy. John Schoolkill, how's it going, my friend? Nice to see you in here. Who else we got? Ron Moen, I said hello to. Joe Rader, nice to see you, buddy. Ron New Haven Rails, glad you can make it in tonight. There's a lot of. There is Sparky 107 107. And who else we got? Yeah, well, it's been a while, and I don't even remember the last time I did a live stream. It was before I had my heart attack, and my heart attack was July 10th, and here we are, actually a month later. Yeah, Mr. Kevin Brown, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you in here. Who else we got? Mr. Frank Neer, nice to see you, buddy. Well, I started to build some models, as some of you guys know that have joined me on my other channel. As you can see, it says Captain Cuz 6951. And I'm glad you guys did because it helped me get my new channel launched. I got some videos up there already. Who else we got in here? Let's see. Who else? Who else? Who else? And Mr. Chris Mitchell, glad you could all make it in here tonight. I have not updated any of my stuff here on this channel, so I don't know what's going on. And Mr. Ray Burleson, if you have sent me a friend request on Facebook, I'm not accepting because I don't know if it's actually you or not. So I'm not going to accept it unless I know for sure it's you. Mr. Dwayne, how's it going, buddy? Nice to see you in here. Hey, it's been a long time since I did a live stream, and I forgot what I have to do. Anyhow, I do want to thank all people that have stayed with me as far as my membership people go. I do appreciate that. And don't forget, I will be doing a Christmas giveaway probably on both channels. Uh, and if any of you guys would like a model of something other than model railroading, let me know because I have a couple of models that I bought that are actually the wrong scale for what I was doing, and I don't want to send them back. So I have some models that I probably just want to give away. So if you guys are interested, let me know about that. James Galton, are you in here? I just saw James G, so I guess just James Galton is in here. Let's see who else we got. I think that's everybody. Mr. Ken N, how's it going, buddy? Hey, I'm live streaming, yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to share with you tonight some of the stuff I'm doing on my other channel. And I'm also going to share with you some of my, I'm calling it stories from the high seas. It's some clips that I put together showing you some of the stuff that I had happened to me or saw happen while I was on the aircraft carrier in 1968 and 1969. They are clips that I'm going to be using my models to demonstrate with, so you guys will get the full picture of what's going on. Anyhow, when I started the other channel, I started it with the intentions of just doing a diorama with the ship that I was on, plus the surrounding ships, all the support ships, the cruisers and the heavy cruisers, the battleships, and blah, 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 blah. But as I started watching some of these other guys' builds, they're not only doing ships, they're doing other sorts of models also. Let's see. So And I'm talking like they're doing military ground support. They're doing European and other countries of airplane jets and boats and this and that and the other thing. So I said, well, this would be pretty fun for me to start doing these other types of models to test myself to see if I actually can do it. So I started doing it, and I spent a lot of money on models. I have on the bed that's behind me right there, I have about probably about 15 models, and then there's a couple more out in the living room. But I'm peeing. What? No, you're a pee. Oh, Sparky. Yeah, it make me think of what I said, man. Anyhow, I do have some videos up on the other channel already, and they seem to be doing okay. And I will just give you a hint of what I am doing at this point. The ship you see behind me, let's see if we can do that, is the first model that I built. That's not a model railroad related model. It still needs to get weathered and all of that stuff, but that is the USS Saratoga, and that was the ship that I was on in 1968 and 1969. It's the ship behind me. So what we're going to do tonight is I am going to show you these short little clips, about 8 minutes worth of clips, to show you what was going on while I was on that ship. Hello, Mr. Derek. How's it going, buddy? Nice to see you in here. Good. I'm glad I'm seeing a lot of faces. Well, I appreciate that, John. Thank you so much. Now, when I show these clips, if you guys have any questions, I would like to hear the questions, because I think some of it is funny, some of it is pretty scary. But if you have questions about it, especially the last clip, if you have questions about the last clip, I would love to hear your questions. But anyhow, we're going to do that here in a few minutes. I want to get through this first part. Let's see, who else we got? Did I miss anybody? I think I have everybody. But I have not. Mr. Jim Tedesco, how's it going, buddy? Glad you can make it in tonight. Let's see, who else? 28 people. That's not too bad for not being on here for such a long time. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the stuff that I am doing right now that are in progress, or I'll post it or whatever. So anyhow, the first one I'm going to do, besides the aircraft carrier that you just saw, and you can see it sitting down on my bench right there, was this E2C AWACS. Now this one, these are 1/44th scale. So if you could think, no, is this 1/4? No, this is, yeah, 1/44th scale. Part one was already put up last week. Part two will be this Saturday's video. I'll show you how I completed this. This Saturday's video will be the completion of this model. Then this one here is going to be one video, start to finish. And it's going to be this armored car. That will probably be maybe next week's video. I'm not sure yet. I do have, and I'll talk about this in a minute. What I'm working on right now is this guy. I can't even see, it's so big. Oh yeah, because it's green and it's green. Then yeah, this is a tank hauler, and that's what I'm working on right now. They're pretty interesting builds, especially the ships. The ships are 1/700th scale. Think about that, you N scale guys. That's 6.5 times smaller than N scale. Hello, Mr. Anthony Dodge. How's it going? Mr. Mike Rail Artist, nice to see you in here. No, it's smaller. A 1/44. No, 1/44th is real close to N scale. Yes, you are correct. So anyhow, those are a couple of projects I got going on right now. And like I said, the AWACS is what we used to call it. It'll be, the completion of this will be on Saturday's video. The parts on the 1/700 scale ships that I'm building, I ordered special tweezers today because these tweezers that have steel tips, if you pick up a part, they're gone, brother. You ain't never gonna find it again. So I ordered some with some rubber tips on it. I want to see if that's going to work any better because, like I said, the parts on these ships are really tiny. And on top of that, there's companies that make photo etched parts for these ships. And you put these photo etched parts. Now, the only thing I don't like is you put all these photo etched parts on there and this and that, and then you go ahead and paint it. Yeah, it's got a lot of detail on it, but you know, why would you want to ruin the photo etch parts? Anyhow, most of the kits that I have bought, the ship kits, have photo etch parts in them. Whether or not I am going to use them, I do not know because, like I said, they are so small and they have to be bent into shape. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that. First of all, because my fingers don't work as well as they used to, and these guys don't work as well as they used to. So we'll have to see how that's gonna work out. Who else we got in here? Anybody else show up that I missed? I think I said hello. Yeah. Yeah, that's way too small, dude. And there are guys that actually do it. Oh, and also on some of this military stuff, I am going to make, besides the diorama I'm going to have with my ship, there'll be, beside the aircraft carrier, I think in the total diorama is going to be 9 ships. So it's going to be like cruisers, heavy cruisers, light cruisers, destroyers, a couple of battleships, and a cargo ship, and blah, 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 blah. Speaking of cargo ship, you guys will see the cargo ship that that I built that has not been that has not been posted yet. That's one of the videos. I have 5 videos that need to get posted. I've been really busy building models, guys. I tell you, it's crazy. But hey, Mr. Jack, how's it going, buddy? 1200 scale for more ships out there. 700 scale is pretty small. The only sad thing about it was all the ships that I am building are exactly 1/700 scale. The aircraft carrier is 1/720th scale. So it's actually a bit smaller than the rest of them. And I tried 3 different aircraft carriers, different scales, and this was the one that came the closest to fit everything else that I was building. So that's why I went with that one. Who else we got in here? I think I said hello to everybody. We got 30 people in here. Let's see, I think we got everybody. So, anyhow, this is what we're going to do. And I hope this works. I've been trying. This was supposed to happen last week. I was supposed to do this live stream that I'm doing tonight. I was supposed to do last week. But I started having technical difficulties. I couldn't hook up with StreamYards. Then my microphones weren't working. There was a lot of stupid stuff going on. Anyhow, the audio on this is not going to be the greatest because I'm out in my dining area, which is all hard surfaces. So there's a lot of echoing going on. So with that being said, let's see if we can get this to work. Stay tuned, and here we go. breakfast or lunch. I don't remember exactly which meal it was. And I hear an announcement on the loudspeaker saying, "Prepare for a a hard starboard turn." If you guys don't know what starboard is, that means right, like a right turn. So I finished my meal of work, which was right down here in this corner. I'm walking on the hangar deck, and all of a sudden, I feel the ship start to do this. And all of a sudden, he's turning, and he's listening more and more and more. So I'm on the flight deck, and I'm holding on to one of the chains. I know. I figured something stupid like that would happen. I don't know why there's no audio. I hear the audio here, but I don't know why you guys aren't here. I'm trying to see what's going on with that. You should be hearing it. Let's see. Well, yeah, that's what I said. That the recording is really terrible because I'm out in my living room and there's nothing to buff the sound, so it's going to sound terrible. So let me see. Well, I don't. If you guys can adjust your volume, I have this volume. Let me see if I can. Well, maybe I might be able to get this volume up a little bit more too. Hold on. All right, let's see. Let's see if that works. Try it again. That's holding the planes down, and I'm looking out this elevator hole, and all I see is water. And I look out this elevator hole, and all I see is sky. And he just continues like this. Now, could you imagine a ship this big making a turn like that? Wow. Anyhow, that was a pretty cool experience, especially because I had to hold on to the chain or I would have went flying out the side of the ship. Anyhow, let's see if I have any more stories to tell you guys. All right, guys, this was one of my scary stories. What do I mean by scary? So, we're in the middle of the ocean, and here is our supply ship, and here's the ship I'm on. And we have hoses strung across because we're taking our fuel both for the ship and for the aircraft and for the equipment, flight deck equipment. And all of a sudden, I am on the radio. Now, my first 3 months on the ship, I was dispatching the fuel crews. So I have my headset on and I have my radio on and this and that, and I hear 75 miles out, there is a Russian ship that is approaching us. So we're on standby, kind of an alert type deal, trying to talk to this guy, talk to the captain of the Russian ship. They were not responding. Back and forth, to try to get in touch with them. No, good, blah, blah, blah. The Russian ship is getting closer. Now we're about 20 miles away, so we had to do an emergency breakaway. What is an emergency breakaway? The hoses that went from this ship to our ship, there was a quick release on them or something like that, and they hit those, and all of a sudden we had to do this. Because this guy didn't care about anything, he just went right between us. So being just barely 18 years old, let me tell you something, that was a scary situation. Well, I hope you guys like those 3 short stories. I do have more, and as time goes on, I will be telling you more stories. So with all that being said, let's get back to the stream. Bye for now. All right, guys, this is going to be... Can you guys hear this at all? Because this next one is pretty funny, and I want you guys to hear it all. So please let me know before I start it up again. Plain chicken. Yeah, that basically is what it was, and he didn't really care for anything. He just kept on coming, didn't change his course, just went right between us. It was scary, I tell you. Jim Tedesco says yes. Sound is coming through. Okay. All right. So this one is a scary but funny clip. So here we go. One more story I'm going to tell you guys. This one was both scary and funny after the fact. So, if you guys remember earlier, I told you that I was working as a dispatcher, and my office or our shelter, whatever you want to call it, we called it a shelter, was down underneath the flight deck, somewhere down in here. I don't remember exactly where. Could have been this way, could have been this way. Anyhow, if anybody wanted to leave the shelter, they had to tell me where they were going. So, I had one guy, his name was Dombrowski, and we all used to call him Dumbo for short. He wants to go get a drink of water. Now, the only place to get a drink of water was here in the superstructure. On the very ground floor of the superstructure was a water fountain in there. Anyhow, he told me he was going. So on my little boards that I have, I mark him off as out for water. And the only place, like I said, was to go here. So he comes up, he walks on the flight deck, and he walks behind this jet right here. This jet is throttling up to move out onto the cat, blows Dumbo off the side. Now, you say, isn't that safety nets? Yes, they are safety nets, but they're not nets like you think they are. They are steel nets, okay? So, he goes flying overboard. On my radio, I hear man overboard because the guys back here on the fantail saw Dumbo in the water. We were wearing purple shirts. That was our color. So immediately they sent the helicopter up, and they get over to where Dumbo was. Now, now this was the story he was telling us when he came back onto the ship. While he was in the water, the rescue guy was coming down on the cable and was taking his knife and trying to puncture Dumbo's life vest because he couldn't get the harness on. Well, Dumbo thought the guy was trying to kill him. So finally, he got the message. They put the harness on. He comes back to the ship. The ship lands. This was designated helicopter spot. The helicopter lands, and everybody goes around to see how he was. And the first question somebody asked him was, "Hey, Dumbo, how was your drink of water?" This kid was white as a ghost. But that was the funny part about it is when we asked him that question, he said, "I'm not working on the flight deck no more." All right, guys, that's it for now. So the last one, it was really scary. And we actually got to speak to Dombrowski afterwards, and he said that he tried to grab the nets, and like I said, the nets they're not nets like we know nets. They are steel nets. And when he was going over, he tried to grab it, and he ripped his arm open. And he said when he hit the water, his back was to the ship. And by the time he turned around, he said the ship was already like a quarter of a mile away. He said he couldn't believe how fast that ship was disappearing. And he was really lucky that someone was actually peeling potatoes on the back of the ship that actually saw him in the water. And we were literally in the middle of the ocean, so he was a very lucky boy that day. And like I said, when he got back on the ship, let me back up a little bit now. I told you about the guy who was trying to save him tried to puncture his life jacket. Well, when we were hanging out down in the shelter, as we call it, we'd walk around and we had these, they were called Mae West, and they were CO2 activated, and all you had to do was pull a string and it would inflate. So we'd walk around and just yank on everybody's CO2 cartridge, let their things. Dumbo was the only one who would not let us pull his thing and do it. And I guess he had an omen or something that he was going to wind up in the water. So anyhow, that was a crazy situation. But the other thing was, Mr. Kevin, that's Sephiroton. How's it going, my friend? Really not the brightest bulb. I mean, come on now. You have a jet. I think it was probably an F4 because that was our most popular jet at the time. It was probably an F4 sitting on the elevator, just came up from the hangar deck, and he's throttling up to move out onto the catapult. Now, come on, man. There's a jet there, and he's throttling up. Don't you think there's going to be some exhaust coming out the back end? I would have, if it was me, I would much would have rather walked in front of him, because at least the pilot can see me, you know. But anyhow, that was really hilarious. So anyhow, if you guys got any questions about that, please ask, because that's all I have for tonight, really, other than showing you those models that I'm going to be doing. The my aircraft carrier, this guy. Oh yeah, I got some other stuff. Now, anywhere on the flight deck is dangerous when you're doing launches and recovering. There's all sorts of equipment moving around. There's tow vehicles. There's planes moving around. There's engines running. There's this, that, and the other thing. My opinion, the two worst places on this ship. Now, you got to remember, the first 3 months I was on the ship, I was down here in the shelter with doing dispatching. The second 3 months, I was actually on the flight deck fueling aircraft. Okay, so my opinion of the two worst places, or the most dangerous places on the aircraft carrier was here, because there is a fueling station right there, and now here comes a jet. Let me get these guys. Here comes a jet, right? And he misses the cables. He's going to go right off this side here, like that. So if you're standing up, you got to duck, man, because the plane is literally right there. Okay. The second place that I thought was the most dangerous was back here where the arresting cables are. Let's see if I can get a better shot of that. Yeah, there you go. Where these arresting cables are. So if a plane comes in, and they usually shoot for number 3. If they miss, they go straight off, right? Okay, so now if he catches it and the cable breaks, that cable's going to whip around no matter where, okay? And it's a long cable. Don't forget, it stretches across the entire width of the ship. We used to do what they call a hot fuel. Hot fuel is when the plane is actually running and you got the hose hooked up to it and you're fueling it up, because it's going to go right back up in the sky. They are recovering aircraft while you're doing this. Okay, now I'm standing there, and the hoses are pretty much let me get back to this camera for a minute. The hoses are up and a quarter turn, and it locks into the aircraft fuel tank. So I'm over here, and I got my hand, standing there by the hose, okay? And I got my hand on the intake of the jet, and I could feel it sucking my hand in, right? And I'm thinking to myself, if a plane comes in and snaps that cable, I am a dead man. So I used to always be afraid to go back there and do what they call the hot fuel. So those are some of the stories about me and my adventures while I was in the service in 1968, 1969. Who else do we have in here? Doing aircraft model, you saw. Doing aircraft model river subdivision. I am doing some, if I could find them, yes. I do have it. I do have an F4, which is one of the planes that happens to be my favorite jet, was the F4s at the time. I think there were A6 intruders on there. There were other, I don't remember them all, but if I could find what I could find, I will build them and display them. In fact, I just bought a display case that I am going to, because like I said, there'll be about 12 ships in the diorama, but I have a lot more ships to build, so I want to put those on display. How many times have you seen the cable break? I was lucky enough never to see the cable break, Chris. Fortunately, I was very lucky about that. And I'll tell you what, I used to, excuse my language, I used to crap my pants every time we had to do a hot fuel back there. And they were recovering aircraft, because those planes, those jets are coming in at like 130 miles an hour. And, you know, if he misses, he could crash, and that's even worse, you know. But yeah, it was crazy. But The one thing I got to say is I saw a lot of Europe that I could never pay for on my own. I've been to all different countries in the Mediterranean because that's where our cruise was. It was in the Mediterranean Sea. Um, there is a tradition when you go through the Straits of Gibraltar. You take your hat and you fling it into the water. I believe that's what it was. Throw your hat into the water. There were places that we used to hang out. There was a bunch of guys from New Jersey, a bunch of Italian guys from New Jersey. So we all used to hang out together in this one spot. Uh, and we guitar and start singing and doing this and that and the other thing, go on Liberty together. And it was fun at times, but then when we had to work, we had to work. We were there. There was a situation going on in Lebanon, and we were flying 24/7. And that meant the fuel crews were going all the time. We had 10 crews, 4 guys per crew. So there was 40 of us that used to fuel aircraft. And yeah, so I used to get instructions of where to send the fuel crews, and then I used to just dispatch them out, tell them where to go. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes on in an aircraft carrier. If you guys ever watch Smithsonian Institute, they have a whole thing on aircraft carriers. You guys need to watch that if you're interested. Thank you, Mr. Rail Artist. I appreciate that. And thank you, Mr. Sir. Semper Fortes. F4s, A4 Skyhawks. Yeah. And then the one of these guys was on there. Plus they had an E2, E2A. It was without the radar thing on top. That was also part of our deployment. Yeah, it's like the best being on that aircraft carrier is what got me into liking jet planes, because you guys don't know what it is to watch one of these jets take off at night. Now you got to remember that right behind. Let's see if I can get down there. Yeah, maybe the other one. Move this guy away. This little square thing right here. Actually, there's 3 of them. They pop up and they divert the jet exhaust up into the sky. So now when they're in full afterburner and they're sitting on the cat, full afterburner, the flame, I'm probably from the back of the plane to the wall is probably 30 feet. So the afterburner flame hits that wall and then shoots straight up into the sky. And unbelievable, man. It used to give me chills from the back of my neck all the way down to my feet. Unbelievable. And that's what got me into liking jets. I appreciate that, Mr. Rail Artist. Thank you so much. Can you 3D print the planes? Probably. There's no doubt that somebody can print planes. I'm sure that they can. Let's see. But it was definitely an experience when I was there, and I was fortunate enough not to be part of the Vietnam cruise, which was called the Westpac cruise. I did want to go, actually. Stupid 18-year-old, right? Let's go where the fighting is, But I had an ulterior motive. And the ulterior motive was that, first of all, an aircraft carrier doesn't get closer than 60 miles from the fighting. One of the ports that we were going to stop in was Japan. And I'm thinking to myself, we're going to stop in Japan. I could buy stereos and I could buy cameras and I could buy this and I could buy that and bring them back home and sell them. Well, when I told them I wanted to go to Vietnam, they thought I was crazy. They said, no, you ain't going. So that killed that idea. Yeah, but anyhow, that's it. That's what I have. So if you guys are interested, I would appreciate it. If you guys have not subbed to my new channel, I would appreciate it if you do. It's hard getting a new channel launched from start, basically. And I think because I have this channel, the BNSF 6951 channel, that's helped me with the other channel because new channels can't post videos longer than 15 minutes. And I've been posting videos for 20, 25 minutes already, and they haven't said anything. So I guess this channel must be helping that channel somehow or another. I don't know. Show us the other ships you're going to do. I would have to, all right, hold on. I got a couple of them here, so hold on. Now these ones here, uh, this is a light cruiser. It's called USS New Orleans, and it's CA-32. 1942 was the Circa. Then we have the Des Moines, which is a heavy cruiser. Now, I tried to match these ships up with the ships that I looked up that were in the Sixth Fleet, 69 and 68 and 69 in the Mediterranean, and a lot of the ships are pretty much what I have here. So that's a heavy destroyer, and this is a another heavy destroyer. This is going to be the next ship that'll be videoed. Part one is already done. Where I start to tell you about the photo etch stuff before, they also make stick-on wood decks because a lot of these ships back in the day used to have wood decks. So I have every ship that I have has a wood deck that I will be applying to. So those are some of the ships. I can show you some of the planes that I'll be building. F-15 Eagle. Here's my F-4. Now these guys are, what are they, 144? I think they're 144. No, 172. These guys, these models I'm showing you now are 172. And then we have an F-15. And then we have an F-16. And I also have somewhere an F-22 Raptor. So I'll be doing those. And that's, I'll have a M1 Abrams tank I'll be doing. Oh, thank you, Mr. Tedesco. I appreciate that. Well, thank you, Mr. Alexander. I appreciate that also. The amount of balls it takes to land. I tell you, the technology now is like they really can't miss. They have these LSOs is what they call. They're landing somebody officers or something like that. Anyhow, they have this this light system, and it can actually see where the plane is, and it tells these light systems move back and forth and up and down, and it tells the pilot exactly how what his approach has to be to come into the plane to catch the arresting gear. Some of the new stuff that's out now. What about the heavy cruisers there, Mr. Sparky? But the ships that I'm building, I mean, the parts are so tiny. It's like, and like I said, as soon as you pick it up with a pair of tweezers, if you're not holding it right, it'll just shoot off into nowhere. Yeah, I I agree with that, Mr. Steve. I do agree with that. But it is a lot easier from what it was when I was on a ship because they didn't have that. They didn't have the they didn't have the lights when I was on the ship. It was strictly pilot. But oh, Mr. Kyle, how's it going? Glad you could make it in tonight. I tell you, I wish this may sound stupid, but I wish I can go on as a spectator on an aircraft carrier just to do a cruise, just to get the thrill of the whole thing again. Because, like I said, I was just barely 18, and just the thrill of being on this ship that was 5,000 people, and you could get lost. Definitely could get lost on this ship. So. Okay, Steve, I'll do that. That's funny. So anyhow, I hope you guys will join me over on Together Channel. I will tell you now that I am very, very sorry for not watching a lot of you guys' videos. I've been, like I said, I've been really busy trying to get this other channel going. So I've been nuts building stuff, going crazy building stuff. So I probably won't get to work on the layout probably another 2 or 3 weeks at least before I get back on my train layout. I just got to, start cleaning it up and start putting more scenery down on it and get it running right. And that will be good with that. Anyhow, if you guys have any more questions, please ask. Yeah, my partner, John Dilly, Grandpa Rails, he had to go to his grandson's football game tonight. Sparky, I don't even know, to tell you the truth. I'll probably need a front end loader to get it all off. Yeah. Babysitting ICBMs, huh? That's pretty cool. So Joe, you're an Air Force boy. So you and John Dilly are both Air Force people. That's cool. What brand are the ship models? All right, the ship models are. Let's see. Most of the ship models that I have are by a company called Trumpeter. Now, there's also a company called Hobby Boss that they do ships, and also Tamaya does ships. And this, I can't, Husqvarna is another company. Now, some of the ones that I have that I told you guys I was going to send back are 1/350th scale, which is twice as big as this. So, like I said, if you guys are interested, I have like 1 or 2 pieces that I can send out. My email is in the about section of my YouTube channel. Arkansas missile silos. It'd really be like tumbleweed. That's funny. So anyhow, guys, that's all that I have for tonight. If you guys have no more questions, hot and cold is good. I am kind of hungry. This is kind of a weird time for me to be doing a live stream is at 5 o'clock because by the time I finish this and then try and cook something, it's like already 7 or 7:30. Anyhow, guys, thanks so much for showing up tonight. I do appreciate it. And I do appreciate your support on both channels. And when you start watching if you decide to go on the other channel, please watch the videos and comment on them just like here. Again, the rules are going to apply over there as they do over here. Comment on the videos, you're eligible to be in the Christmas giveaway. It's plain and simple. Oh, thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing really good. In fact, this past Monday, I went in for a stress test because they do see that there is another artery that's about 65 to 70% blocked. So I went for a stress test on this past Monday. It was actually a treadmill, not a chemical one, a treadmill. And I'm waiting for the results on that. Also, thank you, Ken. Thank you for showing up, buddy. Also, I don't know if you guys know, but I told you that I was suing the contractor that did my bathroom. Well, I went to court this past Wednesday, and I won. I didn't get as much as I wanted, because I guess there's some rule that if a person does work, they have to be compensated for the work that they did. So I had to pay him, well, not pay him, but I already did pay him the initial amount. And so that I don't get back because he did do work, so he's entitled to get paid. Uh, so I wound up getting half of what I was suing for, which is okay. Now the problem is trying to collect the money because I don't think he's going to pay me. But that's okay because I intend to get in touch with the Better Business Bureau, and the contractors have a license called ROC license. I intend to get in touch with them, and tell them that he had lost a case for poor workmanship, and let that go on his record. So I don't care if he pays me or not. That money is long gone now. What could I do? I'm not going to go after him. I'm not going to call my cousins in New York and say, hey, guys, this guy owes me money. Let's take care of it, will you? But no. All right, guys. Well, you heard enough of my stories. I don't know when my next live stream will be. If I have something to tell you guys, and if you don't mind me showing you some of these models that I'm doing, then we can do another live stream here in maybe another couple of weeks or so. Anyhow, and it's funny because I said that when you go to small claims court, it's not a judge, it's a moderator or mediator or whatever you want to call it. And after it was over, she was like, is this guy that bad? I said, listen, if you want to come to my house and take a look at it, you're more than welcome to. She goes, no, it must be that bad. I said it is, So court can't garnish wages. Now the moderator, whatever she was called, she told me to get in touch with the Arizona Bar Association, and there are lawyers in there that will do pro bono work to force this guy to give me money. Now, I don't know if he's not going to pay me or if he's going to pay me. I would be doing the same thing he did. We would be assuming that he's not going to pay me, but I don't want to think that way right now. So we'll just have to see what happens. Oh, Soki, thanks for showing up, buddy. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. That's pretty cool. Did you get a notice on my Captain Cuz channel? Or are you also subscribed on this channel? Question. Bring more stories next time. Okay, I'll do that. All right, guys. Put a lien on his business. Could do that too. Yeah, I basically, like I said, the money is long gone. I don't think he's going to pay me, but I might be surprised. He might just say, here's your money, bye and good luck, whatever. But I don't think he's that type of guy, to be honest with you. So I was thinking of, paying a collection agency to collect the money, because then that would go on his credit report too, as a delinquent payment. So I have options. But like I say, I'm not really worried about the money right now. It's a matter of I don't want his business to be thriving on people that don't know any better. See, he thought I've had, hey, Mr. Dave, Low Country, how's it going? Since I've been in this house, I've had probably 8 or 9 different contractors to come in here. Plus, I watch a lot of how-to shows on TV, so I know how things have to be. And when this guy was putting these tiles up and his grout lines were all one size here, one size here, it's like, dude, are you a tile guy or what are you? Basically, just barely over a handyman is what he was, really. Anyhow, all right. No, no, and Ken, you know the story then, right? Because you know that it was because of his wife is the reason why I hired him. because his wife was talking all kinds of praises. Oh, he's got this apartment complex he's doing down in Tucson, 52 apartments and da 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 da. And so he's got a YouTube channel. So I go check out his YouTube channel. He's got the comments turned off. I wonder why he's got the comments turned off. Anyhow. All right, guys. I said this 14 times today. I'm going to take off. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for showing up. Thanks for all your support. And we'll talk to you later. Bye for now.